Hi, hello. This is Holger from BDR Germany, and I would like to speak about the fabulous new products. We have ampoules, dermaceutical concentrates, and the beauticians and customers are freaking out because they are so brilliant, they are so good, and throughout all the laboratory studies, we have best results. Let me explain a little bit about the two youngsters coming to the new BDR program. This is one for once, Hyaluron Ultra. Hyaluron Ultra is a maximum moisture concentrate for dehydrated skin, which is used quite basically for all skin types, for all genders, skin colors that have a deficit of moisture. You could not necessarily see the deficit of moisture right away just by looking at a surface of a skin. Sometimes it needs a very simple dermatological test that is also being proceeded in most clinics that want to check the moisture binding capacity of the skin. So just when the skin is being pushed up a little bit and there is small wrinkles, there is the appearance of very small and dry wrinkles, that is the sign that the skin will need a soft peeling and an intense moisturizer. And talking about an intense moisturizer, we will have to take into our routine, in the daily routine, our Hyaluron Ultra. It's an ampoule that comes along in a 7 days cure, or if maybe half the product is used only, then it might as well be a cure for 2 weeks. And inside this ampoule is an incredible new technology because it's the first time that it was possible to bring up the concentration of hyaluronic acid to more than 2.4%. So the highest possible amount of hyaluronic acid boosted up to 2.5 in ultra small molecular hyaluronic ultra and in medium and larger size hyaluronic acid. In all, and that's incredible. In all, it's more than 13% of moisture binding products. So not only that the hyaluronic acid is being used like 100 times more than in a usual hyaluronic acid liquid, but on top of that is 11% of other moisture binders. And let me go together with you through these moisture binders. This would be betaine, lactyl, inositol, also very important moisture binding ingredient. Niacinamide gives the skin a wonderful glow. And urea, sodium, PCA, also moisturizers and moisture binders. So it will reduce wrinkles, it will reduce the lack of moisture and the loss of elasticity, especially in the fiber tissue. When the fiber tissue gets more dry and more dry, the fibers start to crack, and that is when it slowly but surely also leads to small and later on very deep wrinkles. So it builds up the skin own hyaluronic acid, and it also would build a depot. That means after using an ampoule for at least 2 days, there is in the dermis a depot built up that will give and that will use up the hyaluronic acid coming from that ampoule, and also more hyaluronic acid coming from the natural body. It's quite easy to use. This cure, as I said, is for 7 days. If clients are using it for the face, for the neck, for the chest, and maybe also for the back of the hand, for the hands or underarms, because 2 ml is quite a lot of product for a large area of such a concentration. Beauty professionals would use this ampoule easily for one treatment, because it's normal that inside a clinic that there is face and neck and chest already being treated. For needling, I would even recommend inside a clinic. If a needling technique is used, like the MNT needling or a stimulation needling or things similar to that, then I would definitely recommend to use 2 ampoules. So inside for professional use, when the skin is opened with needles, the skin really absorbs product very well, and that of course is the best moment to put the best and the most concentrated hyaluronic acid plus other moisture binders into the skin. The application is quite easy, way of using it quite easy. Us professional, we just crack the ampoule, open it, distribute it on the area that we want to use it, or if we want to use the needling, we can also use a dropper. For home care, the BDR beauticians that are working with these ampoules, they also can give to their clients a so-called ampoule opener. That will be quite easy. The ampoule is just being placed from down into that tube with a little push. It would crack, no matter in what way the ampoule had been placed. And so the open bottle and the tip already broken off comes out of this tube, and the ampoule can be used easily. Just with a little slap on the back of the ampoule, the single spritz would come out and can be distributed very easily. Other possibility is to use a dropper, especially for the beauticians that would like to use the product also, for example, for needling. So the dropper is just placed on top of the ampoule. Quickly open the tip when you apply the dropper, so the ampoule the liquid can be put down to the silicone part, and then when the dropper is open, it's quite simple and very easy to use single drops by drop, and then use it together with a needling device, or use it together with other devices. Of course, there is iontophoresis, there is so many possibilities to also help the active ingredients to penetrate more deeper into the skin. So there is mesoporation, there is so many possibilities to use. So for home care, there's a 7-or together with a dropper, can be used for 2 weeks, because one ampoule would last at least 36 hours after opening, so up to 48 hours even. So if it's used locally or just really in small area, like if there is a beard and a lot of hair, and we don't need an entire ampoule, could be used for 3 treatments at home care. There's other packagings. There is packaging for professionals. Professionals would of course use already very many of these ampoules, so they would come 25 by 25. So here we can see then much more ampoules, and they can of course be sold to the clients at home in individual boxes. So if maybe a client also wants different ampoules, they are filled inside the institute. So depending on the combination the esthetician would recommend to the client, there is like a very nice and beautiful way, together of course with a brochure, so clients of course know what ampoules are inside. Or maybe just a single ampoule can also be packed from the professional size if a client wants to try that, or for the special occasion just wants to use one ampoule, that's another possibility to bring that home to the clients. So that is one ampoule, the Hyaluronic Ultra, but of course there is more to know. And so I would like to speak a little bit about our stem cell booster, which is a incredible and unbelievable concentration of active ingredients. The stem cell booster combines three very important active ingredients. It's a stem cell vitalizer, it's a fiber booster, and it's natural growth factors. And those three active ingredients lead to a really, really very well regeneration, wound healing effect for all clients and for all customers that suffer from a loss of densification, when the skin starts to be saggy, when there is a desire to reduce wrinkles, when there's really already areas where we can really see fiber tissue has been broken, when we see a loss of stability, or even if the skin maybe had been treated in the medical field or cosmetic esthetician field with needling, micropigmentation, some sorts of minimally invasive treatments or invasive treatments at a doctor's place, Trixel, Tixel, Fraxel laser, all sorts of minimally invasive techniques. That product afterwards is fabulous. Even during our test phase, indoor, our testimonials, one of them came with a major sunburn, and once we put the stem cell booster on top, even you could see how quick the skin got better. So let's go through the presentation. The latest stem cell technology improves the vitality of skin-owned stem cells. Fiber boosting nutritions aid a lot the synthesis of fibers, collagens and proteoglycans, which is the sugary fibers in between the cells. And finally, the third ingredient are growth factors, which is a copy of the natural human placenta made from plants. So, the phytocell argan is the ultimate weapon against aging and against loss of elasticity, because this latest, most modern technology in stem cell, in stem cell technology, actually awakens and vitalizes stem cells that are hidden beneath the dermis and the epidermis, that are hidden underneath the follicles. Let me show you here. There is on some areas in the basal membrane of the epidermis, you will find stem cells here. You will find dermal stem cells hidden, and that is just a thing that by the end of 2009 a group of scientists have discovered, that under the dermal papilla there is again a niche of stem cells. And once we can awaken this niche of stem cells, once we can vitalize these stem cells, it's like a fresh skin. It's like a stem cell therapy from the own body, right? Then the fiber booster is very important, not only to boost more stability into the dermal layer, but very important also for people that suffer from rosacea or from kuporosis, because the vascular system that has not enough compression from the fiber tissue around will be able to continuously go bigger and bigger. So the redness goes stronger and stronger, the inflammation goes more and more intense. But if there is a compression from outside, like a compression stocking from a new healthy fiber tissue that is nice, moist and elastic, there is also less redness, and there is also less kuporosis or less rosacea. The skin will be firmer, more supple, more resistant, and it keeps the natural tints for much longer. Then I want to talk a bit more intense about this bioplacenta, which is supposed to be the copy of the human placenta. A human placenta will have, sorry, you can see that on the right of this chart. No, your left. On the left of this chart, what the human placenta is made of, and the biological formulation from plants. BDR was able to copy nearly all growth factors of the natural placenta. EGF is quite known as the epidermal growth factor that has been used for cosmetics for quite a while, but BDR goes further than that, because BDR not only uses the EGF for wound healing, helping the epithelialization, and to also gain more hyaluron in the human epidermal layers, but we combine that with the IGF-1, which is the insulin-like growth factors, and only if the EGF and the EGF-1 is being put together, there is an extra power, an extra booster, and an extra strong positive impact on wound healing, a positive impact on the induction of wound healing, growth stimulation, and especially growth stimulation for the fibroblasts. So EGF increases the natural synthesis of hyaluronan, of proteoglycans, which is the intracellular fibers, more like a sugary tissue. So it's incredible what already that combination can do. But then again, we're going further. We add some FGF, which is the fibroblast stimulation. We would add the VEGF, which is a fabulous management of capillary vessels. It an induction of nutrient supplements to the fibroblast cells, and the migration of cells. So all those together have a wonderful wound healing effect, already in a very small concentration. But here at the very right, you can see the concentration we are using, and already after 19 hours, there is in the studies the proof that already after 19 hours a wound healing effect is definitely visible with this bioplacenta. Application is quite easy. Usually one bottle should be enough for one treatment in the institute. If the beautician would use needling techniques like MNT stimulation needles, then I would even recommend to use 2 ampoules. For the home care, the ingredient, or 2 ml, is enough for face, neck and chest. If the client wants to only use this ampoule on the face, then it's 2 treatments. So in this case, I would recommend to use the droppers, because the dropper closes off the ampoule, so it makes it last for at least 36 hours. And with this dropper, it's very easy to have a perfect dosage of product. So when it's used only locally, then it's very easy to place the drops, and this is also then very easy to measure how long the ampoule can last. To open the ampoule, very simple. The liquid should be put down to the bottle and can be cracked open just with the fingers like that. And for everybody who's a little afraid to open such a small glass product, just use the opener. That tube will help you when you put in the ampoule from underneath. Give it a little push from the back. The ampoule opens automatically and then is ready to use on the skin.
And again, it's 4 treatments for local areas, 3 treatments for face only, 2 treatments face and neck, and the professional area, which is face, neck and chest. It's 1 treatment together with needling 2. Packaging size, very simple. It's a 1 week size, so our clients can use that every day, even twice a day if they want to use the dropper. Or for 2 weeks in that case. Clients who want to try that first and maybe they want just a single ampoule. What we do in the professional size, there's 25 ampoules. We just put 1 into this little envelope so the client may try that at home. So we can sell the ampoules 1 by 1, only in professional shops, of course, where the beauticians will fill that directly from their 25 by 25 box. And there is also a 3 days cure for the people and for the clients that just need short help and with big effects. I think that's all for now. If there's any more questions, just get in contact. You will always find us in social media. You will always find us BDR Professional Beauties, and well, enjoy those ampoules. You will love them.